Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie, and I just want to show you the statement that Holly made on Instagram last night on her Instagram stories, where she said, "It's taken time to process yesterday's news." So that was the news about Philip admitting that he had a relationship with a much younger man. When news of this relationship first surfaced, I asked Phil directly if this was true, and he was told it was not. It's been very hurtful to now find out that this was a lie. So that's the statement Holly made. So she's obviously is very straightforward, plain. What do you think? Because I find it difficult to believe that she didn't know. But I could be wrong. And, you might think, what does it matter? But it does matter, doesn't it? This whole thing matters. Doesn't matter in itself. Well, of course, it matters if he's been grooming young boys. That matters because that's a criminal offence. But the whole thing matters because these people are so much in the public thrall, if you like, or the public is in their thrall, watching them for all these years. They follow them on Instagram or Twitter, or they take notice of what they say and what they do, and they're their fans, and they have been just treated like idiots. That's how it feels to me. And the more they do these sort of things, the lies, I don't believe that Holly did not know anything about this. She did know. She must have known. She knew the lad was only young. I can't believe that she didn't know that there was relationships going on then. And I know their relationship has cooled since it came out as being gay. Their relationship has cooled, and she was starting to sort of pull, but maybe she didn't pull away from him quickly enough, because she set up her own agency, didn't she? Her own, and it's an all-women agency. She's probably thinking, "Oh my God, I'm not going through this again," and having some guy with his, nefarious goings on. I'll make it a women only one, and hopefully I won't get the same scandal. But of course, women do bad things too. But it's to me, I think the more that they try, and she tries to extricate herself from it, she's not going to be able to extricate herself from it. They've been the reason is because they've been so successful as a brand, haven't they? They've been so successful. Phil and Holly, it's like like Batman and Robin and those kind of things. You just always associate them together. So they've been so successful in that there's no way she's going to extricate herself as far as this morning is concerned. So she needs to come off this morning straight away. If she's got any chance of actually, she needs to come off this morning, disappear for a while, and come back in something completely different. Okay, so that's her statement. And the other thing I want to show you is the newspapers this morning, which I think I've got somewhere. Yeah, so all this story is not going away, because let me just make sure that's changed over on there. No, they never changed. It's supposed to change over anyway. So what I'm going to do is stop sharing and go back on it, because always never seems to actually just change over itself. Share screen. BBC. Yeah. So these are the papers this morning, Sunday, 28th of May. It's all, a part of all the Daily Express. Is it not there? Oh yeah, it's there, but it's up at the top. But on most of them, it's the headlines. Holly, Phil lied to me. Phil affair storm. Then people are saying that they were going in the Sun to Vile Rolf's secret funeral. People are interested in this story, and the newspapers aren't going to let it go. And there's even talk now about, ITV. They probably will have to cancel this morning, because he's too entrenched in it. You know, it's too connected with his name. And as I say, Phil and Holly, Holly and Phil, that's the way it is. So this morning's got to go, and something else has got to. I mean, there'll still be a program, but they'll need to call it something different, won't they? So that it's not associated with Holly and Phil and that. And Holly, I think Holly is going to have to definitely disappear for a while, because people do forget. You know, well, say they forget, because there's still more to come out in this. So now, this morning, they were saying that this boy was 15 when he met him. Well, you know, not according to the things I've looked at and the research I've done. He's known that boy, if it's that Matt McGreevy or what that they're talking about, he's known him since he was about 10 or 11 from the theatre company. You know, and there's so much more that's going to come out. And so really, yes, Holly needs to sort of, if she's got any, because you know, Holly hasn't done anything wrong. So, but having said that, if she did know about it. Oh, and Eamon Holmes, you know, he's been blasting off against Phil. Everybody's been blasting off against him. But what sort of rankles me a bit is now they're doing that. Now it's all come out, but they didn't do anything at the time. But I just want to look as well at when Phil did come out to Holly. Right, I need to share that screen again, don't I? Share screen, because I mean it's just toe-curlingly embarrassing, I think. And Eamon and Ruth were sort of all with it then. Now Eamon's just like saying so much, isn't it now? Oh dear. So let me just check it's working. Yeah. This is when Phil came out to Holly. Wherever it's disappeared to. Where's it gone? Ah.
It's quite a different start to today's show. As you know, this morning is very much a family show. You often share parts of your lives with us, and we share ours with you. And today, Philip.
I've got to say, Eamon doesn't look very happy, but Eamon never looks very happy these days, does he? So apparently he's got some chronic pain problems, so maybe that's why. But yes, you know, if you could read his mind there, I think you would think that he is thinking, anyway.
Would like to share something with you. And to help him do that, he's here with his on-screen partner, but more importantly, his friend, Holly.
Thank you, Eamon and Ruth. So you may have just seen on social just put out a statement, I think very, very personal to him. Never one of my friends than I am to talk here to you to explain a little more. If you haven't seen the statement, this is what it said. You never.
Right, I'm going to fast forward just a bit because that was the statement that he read out. Let's go forward a little bit.
At ITV, I couldn't hope to work with more wonderful and supportive teams. Every day on This Morning, I sit in awe of those that we meet and who have been brave and open in confronting their truth. So now it's my turn to share mine. This will probably all come as something of a surprise, and I understand. But only by facing this, by being honest, can I hope to find peace in my mind and a way forward. Please be kind, especially to my family, Philip. So,
wow.
I think we would just take a breath at that point. And I know that, I mean, reading that, I can hear the pain, I can hear how difficult that is for you. This is a big day. Mm-hmm. And I know that it's something you've been living with. You said they're in conflict for a really, really long time. It's out there now. How does Mo feel?
It's funny because everyone I've spoken to, you, have all been.
I mean, I imagine it just seems very false to me. Like Philip doesn't really look. He sort of makes out he's upset, but he's not crying. But anyway, let's see.
So supportive and so loving and caring. And my entire family, to a person, have grabbed us and said, it's okay, it's okay. We love you, we're proud of you.
Yeah.
And every person I tell, it gets a little lighter and a little lighter. But at the same time, you know, I have made this decision, which is essential for me and essential for my head.
Yeah.
And that's principally the reason that I've done this.
Well, I don't think that's true, is it? I mean, I don't think he's done it for his head or whatever. He did it because he had to do it because he was going to be outed, which I don't agree with. But again, the thing that gets me about all this, it's not about him coming out. It's not about him being gay, even being with a younger guy. Well, as long as he, you know, was of legal age. It's the lying about it. There's a lot of lies. And sort of, look, you can see he's just thinking about it there, right? What's the best way I can put this that people will, you know, be on my side? He's calculating all the time.
Of course, I'm really very aware that, you know, Steph and the girls are home watching this.
Oh, his poor wife and children.
And we're all together. We spent a lot of time together. We spend a lot of time together, obviously. And they've been supporting us as we got to this moment because we all knew it was coming. So, yeah, I mean, I feel a little lighter.
Yeah.
But I also am very, very aware of, you know, that there's no question that it causes pain and it causes upset.
You've been very open and honest with Steph all the way through this.
Yeah, I have no secrets. We've never had any secrets.
And so how...
No, he said that they've never had any secrets. Does that mean that right from the beginning, when they got together, she knew he was, well, if not gay, bisexual, I suppose? He said, we've never had any secrets. So I don't think that's quite true. Or is it? Has he told her all the way from the start? I mean, they've obviously had some relations because they've got 2 daughters. So there's been some relations between, but I'm 100% for me. If you were with somebody, well, it's bad enough finding out that they're being unfaithful to you, but I think it's sort of almost even worse if it's a man, because you can't compete with that, first of all, and because you're not a man, so you've got no, maybe that would be a better thing, that you don't have to think, oh, well, you know, what's wrong with me as a woman that he doesn't want me? And he's like, well, he doesn't want me because he likes men, so there's nothing wrong with me. It's just the fact that I'm not a man. My neighbour, actually, when we moved in this house many years ago, well, he wasn't her husband at the time, he was her partner. And he was so obviously gay, you know, but you know what? Sometimes people are quite camp and, you know, and maybe they're not gay, I don't know. But anyway, it felt like it was obvious that he was. But anyway, they were engaged to be married. They went off, they got married. They had 2 children. And then he decided to come out, just similar to Philip, but he was a lot younger. He actually left my neighbour for a much older man. I mean, he was in his 30s. The neighbour was in his 30s, gone off with a guy in his 50s, probably. And, you know, I just thought, gosh, that's devastating for her. But in another way, she seemed so surprised, and I couldn't work out why she was so surprised, because there was many reasons, just the way he acted. I mean, he's a lovely guy, such a nice guy, helpful, kind, very good looking, lovely guy. But so, to me, anyway, not only to me, but to quite a few people, it just seemed obvious that he was gay. But this girl, she married him, had children with him, and she seemed like totally gobsmacked when he came out and said he was gay, as did his family. So maybe people sometimes just don't see it. I don't know. You know, it's a shame. you know, I did feel with him, you know, it was almost like, did he do that on purpose? So he married it, so he had children, and then he decided to live his own life. I mean, they share, I say that they share the custody of their children. They're older now, so, but they do sort of still go from house to house, and they seem to have built up some sort of, you know, amicable relationship. But, you know, it must have been, well, I know it was awful for her. I don't know what's worse, you know, they go off with another woman, they go off with another man. But certainly for me, if I knew my husband was bisexual and having relationships with other men, you just couldn't stay in that relationship unless they just decided just to stay together for the children. But he's just said, we never had any secrets. Never. So did she always know?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it is tough, but this is not something that's happened quickly. I've, you know, had to deal with this in my head for quite some time. And so, you know, we've gone through this together. And we've been honest and we've been open. And Steph, as I said, you know, I can't write in any statement what I feel about that woman.
I know. She is amazing.
She is amazing.
Yeah.
She's incredible. I've never in my life, there is no one in my life who would have supported me the way, as a wife, as the way she supported me. She's astonishing, literally astonishing.
No, he still hasn't actually got any tears, but I'm sure he does think a lot of Steph. This reminds me so much of Barrymore, Michael Barrymore, because he absolutely adored his wife in the same way. I suppose, you know, when these women that stand by them, his wife, she died, I believe. I think she had cancer, unfortunately. Michael Barrymore's wife, I'm talking about. And he, very similar, he made a very similar statement saying, you know, she was like his rock, and then she stood by him all through his sort of fall from grace as well.
I guess people watching think, why now? Why is this the moment?
And it's a good question. The thing is that you know this has been bothering for a long time.
Yeah. Holly's known about it for a long time, that this has been bothering me. So she did know about this kind of thing. I think what she's saying is she didn't know that he was having a relationship with a younger man, but I mean, she knew that boy.
There's no question that it has, in recent times, consumed my head.
Yeah.
And has become an issue in my head. And so I got to the stage where I thought, we sit here every day, and I'm over there, and some amazingly brave, incredible person is sitting here, and I'm listening to their story and thinking, oh my God, you're so brave. Oh my God, you're so brave. And I'm thinking, I have to be that person. I have to be that person.
What a load of absolute rubbish. It didn't come out because he was brave. It came out because the guy was going to sell his story. But anyway, here we go.
Because I think all you can be in your life is honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And I was getting to the point where I knew I wasn't honest with myself. I was getting to the point where I didn't like myself very much because I wasn't being honest with myself. And so, you know, when is the right time? When is the right time to do it? And as a family,
well, it seems like the right time is when someone's just about to sell their story to the papers. See, this is not right, is it? Because he's sort of talking now as if he's just acknowledging that he's gay. So, you know, not that he's been gay for all these years and had gay relationships. So is that what he's saying, that he's only just now acknowledging he's gay? So all these years that he's been living a lie or whatever, but he's not actually saying that he's had any gay relationships before now. He's not actually saying that.
You know, it's the right time.
But there'll be many people that wouldn't have that courage and wouldn't live their truth at any point.
There are, of course, you know, there are people around the world. There are people in this country, there'll be people watching this. And we always say, talk to someone, and believe me,
Yeah.
when we say that, and we do say that a lot on this show, you must talk to someone, you must talk to someone.
Yeah.
I have, and it's helped a lot. And it's brought me back from, I mentioned those dark places in the statement. You know, talking to people does bring you back. And in some cases, talking to people saves you.
Yeah.
And you have to discuss it with my friends, with my family, with my wife. You know, we've talked it through, and you have to talk it through.
And I think it's really important to stress as well that you haven't had your hand forced here at all.
This is my decision.
This is your decision.
This is my decision. This is absolutely.
I think just the fact they had to point that out. You haven't had your hand forced here. No, this is my decision. This is my decision. Why did he even have to say that? Just the fact that he had to say that to me tells me that he has.
Absolutely my decision. It was something I knew that I had to do. And I don't know what the world will be like now. I don't know how this will be taken, or what people will think. What I would say is that, yes, I am very, very conscious of the hurt.
Yeah.
And so my overriding emotion with my family is obviously going to be guilt, because I do feel guilty that, you know, this can't be anything other than a painful process for them.
You can't change who you are.
No. But
you can't change who you are. Oh my goodness, it's getting I'm sorry if I'm coming over as being cynical, but I don't like false people. I can normally quite see through someone who's false, and this feels false. But you tell me what you think. Maybe I'm just being horrible.
At the same time, I will sit here and say, actually, I'm proud of myself today. And I am proud of myself today.
Yeah, you should be.
You should
You have two grown-up daughters, Molly and Ruby, who are a credit to you and Steph. Telling them can't have been easy.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't easy, but they are.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing in their love and support. I sat them down and I told them, and they jumped up and they gave me a hug, a big hug, a long hug, and then they hugged Steph, and they said, it's okay. This is fine. You know, this is fine.
Do you know what? I'd forgotten. I mean, I don't know if I watched this intently when it all happened. I remember it happening and thinking, oh God, it seems sickly then, but I didn't watch it in this intensity, if you like. And now I'm watching this again. I'm just thinking, oh my God. I mean, where's his, you know, he's making all the right noises, like, oh, and they did this and they did that. But again, no tears. There's no tears.
We'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll always be a family. You know, we're always us four is what we always call ourselves.
Yeah.
And we'll always be that.
Always. That family unit remains. The love's still there.
It was the same with my mum. My mum was watching this today. Yeah. She's been, you know, on the phone all morning. Hope you're okay. You know, thinking of you. I went down to see her. She's in Cornwall. I went down to see her. And I told her, and she said, oh, okay. Well, I don't care.
Oh, bless.
So, you know, and that's the same with everyone.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Now, do you know, it's funny, you said that's the same with, I wondered if he was going to talk about his brother then or anything, but he stopped himself from saying something that, I mean, that poor mother, so she's got the brother who's in prison, she's got him who now looks like he might end up in prison. And yeah, he was definitely going to say it's the same with something, and then he stopped himself.
And that's the same with everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if he was going to mention his brother there, but of course, all the lurking sort of things were probably going on in the background about him as well. So. Yeah,
that's amazing. It's amazing. You must, I mean, the relief, I can feel the relief from you. You don't know what the future's going to look like. I just wanted to sort of ask you about how are you looking forward to it? I mean, are you thinking about, you know, what that might be?
And
Can
for
you even let your head go to
I'll go out
future
there,
relationships and somebody new coming into
No,
your
I
life?
don't think so. I'm not thinking there. I'm doing each day at a time now. And this is
No, there is no real
this has
tears there.
always been a slow process. And there's no fast process.
Totally
after
recovered
this.
now, his voice.
This was the big day. And this was the day that I knew that everything was pointing towards. And I could not have done it if it hadn't been you.
Oh.
So afterwards, I don't know. But no, there's no one. I'm not rushing out to anybody.
Well, whatever happens in the future, I'll be sat by your side, either here. In fact, come and sit here now, where you should be, because it feels too weird.
Well, she's not going to be sat by your side, Philip, and I think the only reason she's not going to be sat by your side is because something really bad is going to come out. Because I'm sure she would have kept it up, supporting him, etc., if she didn't feel that there was anything actually illegal involved in it. And it was, I think she would have carried on supporting him. But I think the fact she made that statement today, yesterday, I've been lied to, blah, blah, blah. She's distancing herself from him, and she's doing that because there's something much more to this.
And I'll be by your side forever.
Thank you, my darling. So much.
Ever and ever. And we need you as well. We need you. You're all part of this family, our family. Damon and Ruth, come in.
Oh, that's all that
Better?
Yeah.
Better?
Philip, nobody should be embarrassed about their sexuality.
I'm not.
And it's fantastic that you've spoken out, and there'll be so many people who will be strengthened by what you said. And, you know, we, as Holly said, we're all here by your side. We'll be the first to stand beside you. So, absolutely, mate. As long as, you know, Steph's happy, family, the girls are happy, everything, everybody else
They're all
is
that
happy for
matters,
you.
really, aren't they? They're all that
doing,
matters.
doing it. And
I'm
breathe.
This moment for a long
I know.
And breathe.
And you know, actually, Holly isn't crying either. And I think that's telling, because I think Holly is quite an emotional person. I've seen her on the sofa here where she's been interviewing someone. It's a very sad story. And she has cried. So she's not crying, is she? So it's so false. It's so false. But anyway, that's my opinion.
It's I'm disappointed in a couple of ways.
Yeah.
First of all, I thought there was a big announcement from Philip today. I thought you were going to come in and announce you'd resigned and get your job. So that wasn't to be. And the second is there's this great imponderable in life which has always irritated me. And I thought, how come he can sit in a hot tub with Holly Willoughby and Steph doesn't have a problem and Dan doesn't have a problem?
Holly
with this?
is.
This, I thought she would have a problem. I thought, no.
This is the sister I never had.
Oh, they're very lucky, very blessed.
Yeah.
Very
Have you got
lucky.
to play spin the wheel now?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So there you go. This is the sister I've never had. Not anymore.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that.
You know how
Good
well
luck.
that always goes.
I'm almost
for us.
tempted to sit and watch.
This has gone a lot better than spin the wheel.
Yeah.
We'll probably go. Anyway, listen.
Thank you, darling.
Breathe. Well done.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm very, very proud of this unbelievable team and family in here. You are all amazing, and I love you very much.
Well, listen,
Hey, let's hear it for Mr. S.
Yeah. So there you go. What about that? What do you think about it all? Should we just not be interested in it at all, or is it because it looks like there's so much more coming out that maybe he's actually not only gay but have been grooming young boys? Is that is it the fact of all the lies? The thing is, when you're famous like that, now you know they Holly and Phil or anyone, you put yourself in the public eye, you do have to take a little bit, within reason, the sort of what you get back, because you get a lot of good things out of it, of course. You know, I would imagine he really loves that job and loves presenting, and he earns good money and he meets people, and it's probably brilliant. But it brings bad things with it. You know, he's probably been trolled and things that, you know, all famous people all these days, especially with social media, but they always have, really, just in different ways, been trolled. So he's built himself up. He's got to the more or less the pinnacle, if you like, of a presenter's career. If you're a presenter, you couldn't get much higher, really, than Phillip has got. You know, he's presenting everything, appearing everywhere. And the same with Holly, and she's sort of gone up there with him. You know, so in the later years, they've sort of become this sort of pair. And, you know, we had, it was Richard and Judy, then Zaman and Ruth, and now recently it's been more Phillip and Holly on everything. So he set himself up there. I mean, did he never think? Did he really? Was he so complacent that he really never thought that all this would come out? Do you know? I think what's happened here is that young lad that he was seeing, he's scorned him in some way. You know, it's like, maybe he's moved on to another guy, or maybe he got too, you know, there's a part of me that's thinking that guy, he got too old for him. You know, if he likes younger lads, there'll come a time when that lad will not appeal to him, you know, physically, because if he likes a different kind of, you know, it happens all the time. You know, that's like men, they'll be married for years and then they'll leave their wife and go off with a younger woman. Maybe not a teenage girl, but, you know, a younger woman. This is, you know, people have types, whether it's right or wrong. A lot of people, they have a type that, now, if that's his type, a very young lad, and I'm not even saying under 16, but maybe a 16, 17-year-old, when that boy arrived, you know, into his 20s or whatever, he's not going to appeal to him the same. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe he tried to cool off the relationship. And that boy's not having it. And then I've read on other things, this is pure speculation, of course, because only they know what really happened between them, was that the boy got annoyed because his career, his acting career didn't take off, and he really wanted his acting career. Who knows what happened between them in private, but something happened, because then he was moved, wasn't he, after This Morning set and on to the Loose Women set. So something happened, and whether this is what this boy has been is threatening to tell this story. Whether we'll ever get to know it, I don't know. But I think, yeah, I think there's a lot more to come out now. Phil has stepped down and he's not got the power that he had before. He's a bit of a target, which is a shame, because a lot of these people like Eamon, who for years has been sort of, you know, supporting him like he did there, but now suddenly all the guns are out. There'll be a lot of people like that who have supported him because he had power over them, and they didn't know where to go with what they maybe thought about him. Suddenly now everybody's going to come out of the woodwork, which is a shame. So I do feel for him for that. I feel for him for a lot of things. The only thing, I don't like lies, I don't like falseness, and obviously if he's been grooming boys from very young age, I don't like that either. So those are the things he's got to account for. But my advice to him would be, just don't say anything at the moment. I don't know why he's coming out and saying these things, because every time he comes out and says something, maybe he has to, maybe it's because there's a story coming out and he has to, but every time he does that, it sort of looks worse, doesn't it? Same with Holly with her statement. She probably, I don't know, I don't think she should have said that he lied to her, and so she's trying to make out she didn't know that. She would have been better off saying nothing, because I think she evidently did know some of what was going on. So yeah, it's like not important in a way because it's a TV program, but it's important because it's that culture of lying, that people who are in power of any kind, whether it's political power or like in the TV and things like that. And I really think there are more. There's one person in particular I really think is exactly like that. But I'm not. My friends know, because I'm always saying to them. They always go, no, 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 that. But I think that's a story that might come out one day. Sorry. So yes, this lying to the public that don't like, taking the public for fools. The public pay their wages at the end of the day. The public, they buy their TV licenses. I mean, obviously with Granada, it's not a TV license, but they watch all these shows and everything. And without them, he really is nothing. So if he's sort of, lying to them, it's just not, that. Well, you tell me. Okay, you tell me what you think. I'm sort of rambling on